Welcome, BitmonkeyTV, episode 83. Another episode of Whimsical Wing It Wednesday, where we don't quite wing it, although it's appropriate because the idea to come on the show was a very last minute, spontaneous, like, I don't want to end this conversation right now. Do you want to come on the show I'm about to do? But we decided to pre-schedule that in advance rather than doing it that moment. So I'm excited for this one. So we're going to wait for Timofey to come on the backstage. But in the meantime, I'm going to keep everybody entertained. What's up, Chris? What's up, Sash? How you been, man? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hey, by the way, I didn't know, like, Brandy is a very good artist. Like, those paintings. Fuck, let's help you mint those somehow. You know what I mean? I don't know if you guys have thought about that, but whew. It's we're gonna reach out pretty soon. I'm gonna give some alpha for the people tuning in up front. We got some POAPs coming for the contest. And there's been a lot of just great posts of different styles of art that, hey, Randy, what's up? Yes, thank you for sharing. I'm just flabbergasted, if that's the right word, or I'm floored. I love all the entries, all the responses. Just so grateful for everybody here. Love it. Let me pop in the Discord real quick. Can you guys hear that background music? I have the screen hidden, but you should. If you're not already in the Discord, go pop in that Discord. Sasha, to answer your question, server boosting, to my knowledge, let me go back to these comments. Hey, cool. I love it. No, I could tell. I was like, I remember, yeah, for sure. Cool. Yes. I foresee a community-based generative project. Monkey Bites, BitMonkey will take care of everything else. We launch something by the people for the people. How does that sound? Fun one. In addition to, I like the sound of this. Hey, okay. See, I can draw, but I need a reference. I need a very, very close reference. And then I like doing shading and all that. Just with pencil, you know. That's weird. I've noticed, depending on the browser, like on Brave for me, it's hella annoying with StreamYard. So I have to hop on Google Chrome and just make sure I allow everything. I noticed that with StreamYard too. So that's the first place I'd look. But cool. I'll catch you in a few minutes. I'll entertain everybody. So Whimsical Wing It Wednesday. Shall we get some monkey chants going? Ooh, You already know. So for VCon, the Moral Monkey Mob, we had a impromptu little live stream in Discord. I loved it. Had some technical difficulties, how to get through it. Oh shit, let me go turn on some lights here before we get started. I don't see the exact counter. Yeah, sorry about that. As you can see, more background light. But I totally just squirreled right there. So Nitro server boosting, Sasha. Essentially help a server increase its capacity, increase its capabilities, right? Without that server doing it itself. So I have self-boosted quite a bit to help us get to a certain level, but there's been a lot of community-based boosters too. So Thank you to everybody boosting the channel. You know who you are. Appreciate you. And even if you're not, still appreciate you equally. But yeah, it unlocks like different things as you grow. So like, for example, those stages, I'm pretty sure are limited by the number of people, but the more boosters, the more the server grows, the more it allows, I believe. I haven't looked too much into it because I don't plan on managing the Discord full time. I'm just learning enough to help out and keep things moving along until we get that full-time Discord community manager, because we have a number of people helping right now. So, hey, me too. Like, whoo, okie dokie. I think I explained it right. That's my understanding. I know there's more to it. So, hey, we have Timofey on stage, so we're gonna bring him on here.
Hey.
What's up, man? Ooh, that's bright. How you doing tonight or today?
Doing well. How about you?
I'm doing great, man. Doing great. It's a great middle of the week. You know, a great Wednesday. I think that's nice.
Yeah, the thing about the middle of the week is that that the next 2 days are going to be so jam-packed, everybody trying to get in, the last minute work.
I know, right? Right before the weekend. I don't know about you, right? We're going to squirrel immediately. I've gotten to a point where like each day is very similar in the sense that I don't really anticipate Fridays as much as I used to. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Maybe that's because I've been spending more time in solitude and less, out socially like that. You know what I mean? Especially in these times that we're in and everything that's occurred. It's kind of changed that whole social aspect of things. But I enjoy it. I don't know. Like, how about you? I'd love to hear your 2 cents on that.
Yeah, it's like, the all the lockdowns, the whole thing with the virus, it's like there are no more weekends or weekdays or it's just kind of like one big blob, right? So like end of the day, you go back and you're like, well, most people are working from home or doing school from home. It's like, you never leave. So it's like, are you really working if you're relaxing while working, right?
That's true, right? Or you're just reacting throughout the day. Oh, I like that.
It's great. It allows so much more freedom in everyone's schedule, right? You don't got to be at least, for me, I don't have to be in a prison-like environment for 8 hours of the day. And then, then it feels like, oh yeah, Friday, I don't have to go to the prison for the next 2 days.
Right? I get to let loose and you don't have to, because I know a lot of us have it. We have a different, I guess, persona, especially me growing up in the work environment. I was always very customer service driven. So, I would always just, no matter what my day was like, even if it was shitty, I would still do what I had to do to get the job done. You know what I mean? But I've really enjoyed this time, just kind of like creating my own little lab here, like I'm sure you have too. So on that note, I'd love for the audience to get to know you a bit. If you could introduce yourself and just you can go as far back as you'd like with your background, but just give everybody a little, I guess, elevator pitch about who you are. And yeah,
right,
floor's yours.
My name's Tim, as many of you probably are already aware of. I have been in the cryptocurrency / just kind of metaverse, NFT, everything crypto, everything online for the past 3-4 years. And I got into it originally because my stepdad was actually investing in it, and then he didn't know how to use a computer. So he was asking me, hey, I got to sell this or I got to buy this. You got to help me out. How do I use this trading software? How do I use, I believe one of them was like Hit BTC or something like that. It was one of those.
I remember that one. I do, yeah.
And way back when Zcash did their fork from Bitcoin. And so if you were holding, I believe if you were holding a certain amount of Bitcoin and they traded it, or no, they kept it in their wallets before the snapshot, then you get an equal amount of Zcash in terms of value back into this like airdropped wallet. And I believe Hit BTC was like one of the main exchanges that was allowing people to participate in that.
Mhm.
Long story short, Zcash was. I'm not sure if you guys remember what Zcash was. It was like really, really high value, maybe the first 3-4 days, and then just tanked, just went downhill completely. And that was one of the things where my stepdad kind of got screwed on a lot of money there. So that was my first interaction with crypto was, oh, you're gonna lose, everything on crypto. But I ended up coming back to it like a year or two later when I was a little bit older and started doing it for myself. And so then I got into eventually starting my own ERC20 token, which was, way back when was like the era of DeFi. Everything was DeFi. Everybody wanted to do the whole DeFi aspect of everything. And so our token did pretty well. And now I'm thinking about it, we probably shouldn't have pretty much we got bought out, right, by a larger crypto DeFi company because there was only a team of 3. It was me, the dev, which was a good friend of mine, and a consultant. And we ended up having like 10,000 people in Telegram, like 2,000 people in the Discord. We had it was so much to manage. Like I had nights where I wasn't sleeping. So we ended up deciding to, get bought out and, just, pretty much take a paycheck and go. But looking back, and this is back when like ETH was, what I think it was like $300, $300 or something like that. Back 2019, yeah, like back October 2019, and we raised 10,000 Ethereum for locked liquidity back then, which back then I think it was around $10-20 million, something like that, which was, our token was locked liquidity, meaning that there was like a price floor. And it was one of those yield farming tokens. Long story short, I mean, hey, if that token is still around today, each one of those tokens was worth about 0.03 ETH. So like that would have been, I don't know, what would have been worth now? 10,000 ETH. What is 10,000 ETH right now?
Sheesh.
Let me look that up real quick.
Let's pull out that's a good one. Wouldn't it be 400 and something million?
It is 43.1 million. Yeah. So
43. Okay.
Yeah.
One too many zeros on my end.
And so yeesh. Yeah, no, but we did 37, even with ETH being only $300 back then. First day in trading volume, that token did 37 million in trading volume. And then it just got really, really crazy from there because back then you had people that would come in and try to spread FUD and make random crap up and yada yada. It was too much to manage.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, go ahead.
No, go for it.
Oh, okay. Well, it was just from there. It was like that was like the buyout. I feel like I believe it was like 150, 200 ETH or something like that back then. I got 35% of that, so it was like my first little like seed fund where I was able then to start actually paying bills for my family because nobody had a job at that point. So my mom lost her job, my stepdad lost his job. It was a whole thing. Unemployment benefits were running out, and so it was a quite literally here's 20 grand and good luck. And so when I got that 20s when I really, really, really went into the crypto space hard in terms of investment. So, which eventually led me into NFTs, which then Gary dropped an NFT. So then I got some VFriends. And then from there, it was like pure luck. I got onto Gary's show and then I asked for an internship. And now I'm a moderator at VFriends, Discord manager over at Artificial, and I'm a project administrator at Starman NFT, which, by the way, is going to be doing its pre-sale here next month. So that's something
pull
that
this up. Let's I'll let you finish up, but let me pull this up while you're Starmon and Starmon.io.
Starman NFT, yeah.
Starman.
Made by Eli Burton, or the man behind the Twitter account at Real Life Starman. So he's been in the space for a long time, and he's finally taking his brand that's been very, very physical. So he's been releasing a bunch of comics related to the Starman universe, and he's finally taking his brand digital. And originally he was wanting to do complete physical. Like he literally told himself at one point that I will never ever sell a comic online or do anything digitally. He always wanted to do it physically, but then NFTs came out and boom, there we go, the perfect way in.
Like I said it once before, I'll say it again. Look at this art. Like, ooh. Everybody seeing this, right? I want to make sure I'm. Oh, and I see a little tint. Let me. Hopefully you guys didn't see that, and if you did, my apologies. I have that flux on my computer, for the blue light. I'm not sure if you use that, but wow. All right. So can I register? Can anybody in the audience right now register for
anybody
pre-sale?
with if you got MetaMask set up, you just put in your public wallet address and then your Discord username.
Let's get on it.
And you should most likely also join the Discord.
I love. Oh, invite invalid.
Yeah, he never updated it. All right, here.
Let's see.
I gave him a perma link.
It might be different than what's up here. Let's see. No, the one up top as well.
Yeah. Try to check the Twitter. Let me see if I'm not sure why that hasn't been updated yet. I feel like that should be. That's something that we became aware of a very long time ago. And so yeah, if you go all the way down, or even all the way down, like the very, very first one, I know darn well that those links are ones that I specifically gave to him. So it would be like the very first tweet. The very, very first tweet would be the link that I know that. Yeah, there we go. So that one is a permalink. Yeah. There we go.
You got to go through it to learn it,
Yeah.
Love it.
It's something that I gotta bump once again with Eli and make sure that he's posting permalinks. But yeah, there we go. I believe, let's see if the bot is gonna be difficult or not.
So I went through step 1, check the box, agreed, and then verify, and I'm here.
There we go.
See general chat. Beautiful.
We got the announcements.
I love
Those are the physical comics, by the way. Actually,
let's open up the original. See this high def here.
Actually, give me 1 second. I'm gonna turn off my camera really quickly. I actually have copies of all of the current comic books, and I'll show you guys real quick.
Ooh, I'm gonna go full screen. Oh, I'll entertain in the meantime. Thank you, Gary. I did copy it. I just forgot to paste it into chat. So that's the Discord invite. Website is starmannft.com. As you can see, I just signed up for the pre-sale. I encourage everybody to do the same. Hey, Sarah. Thanks for tuning in. How'd your live go? All right. I think we're going to come back here. There we go.
There we go. All right. I'm back.
Cool.
So I've got, let's see how many I've got here. I keep them in the original package they came in. So one very big cardboard box. But yeah, here we go. We got our signed Starman picks right there. On the back, you've got all the info. So you got at Real Life Starman right there. That is kind of where everything started. And then you've got the comics, which you've got the very first one. And then you've got Big Oil Strikes Back, which is the second in the series. Then you've got, that's Operation Darkstone. That's the last one. But then, this is the third one. This is the last one. I forgot which one has part 2. Big Oil Strikes Back, and then you've got Operation Darkstone, and Operation Darkstone Part 2. And I'm like watching myself like on camera here. So like I keep going this way because I'm thinking it's that way, but it's like inverted. So I'm like keep on showing it off in a different perspective. But yeah, no, the artwork here is absolutely insane. Absolutely, like I am a contractor for them in terms of their Discord, but like I believe in this project. Like it is absolutely insane how a physical comic like this is now going digital using NFTs. I mean, this is iconic. Like that right there, that pic right there, when it went live, like the actual like picture of Starman in the red Tesla Roadster over the Earth, that's an iconic pic.
Mm-hmm.
And
most definitely,
that is now going to be an NFT. Like, he has official permission from Elon. Elon, but he has official permission from Elon to use his like face and his likeness in these comics. So let me see if I can find a page
That's dope.
with Elon.
And I love the fact that it was a comic that had been in development. It's not something that was created for the space. It was already, you know what I mean? Like it was already Starman. I'm sure he reserved that domain shortly after he had the idea, right? But
so I'm just going to show one page here.
Yo, what's up, Cam?
There we go.
Ooh, I'm going to go full screen.
You got your... There we go. And I believe the next page is actually the iconic... There it is. Right there. The iconic moment where rocket took off and you have Elon. I'm not sure if you guys have seen that picture or not.
I have not, but this is...
Yeah. All right.
Dang.
Well, out of, you know, if you guys want to know what's actually in these comics, you actually want to read the entire story. Of course, there is a, I believe it's a different website from what the NFT is. It's Starman Gifts, but you know, I mean, it feels like, you know, I came on here and, you know, I'm going to call myself out here. Like I'm trying to shill a project. I don't show.
Oh, not at all.
I'm just saying like, hey, I started working for these people and it is an environment that I can compare to what VaynerMedia would be, or what, you know, like what a small company would be, right? So VaynerMedia is huge, but it has, you know, that inner like, hey, you know, they still care about all their workers and they care about everybody and they take care of everybody. Same thing here. And you can tell that Eli is extremely devoted to this project, and this is his 40 year. This is what he's going to be doing for life, right? Like it's absolutely insane.
Man, that's awesome. And that's exactly why I wanted to spotlight that and kind of pivot and swirl there. I hope I didn't interrupt your flow, but I could tell, you know, it's how passionate you seem about it, right? About being a part of the team. And it shows, right? And that artwork, man, oof, I can't say it enough. Phenomenal job. And to see somebody come into the space with their 40 year rather than creating a new 40 year, you know, because of the space. Not to say that's a bad thing. That right there, man, I love getting behind projects and people like that, because it shows that they are who they are. They haven't changed. They're simply doing what they want to do and what they believe in.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't actually seen a lot of brands or NFTs that come out that is already like an established physical brand going digital. So this is why I'm so like, I mean, like that. I think this project's gonna go places. I know a lot of people. Some people have told me that it's niche. It's a niche market because of, you know, it's very SpaceX and Starman related. But I mean, end of the day, SpaceX is creating history. So, you know, what's niche today is going to be mainstream tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just a matter of time.
Right? It's just a moment in time. It's a niche until it's not.
Yeah.
You know,
Gary Vee was a niche till he wasn't. I mean, he's still a niche. He's not extremely mainstream just yet, but he's getting there.
Like I feel like once he's like The Rock, I feel like The Rock, he's now a household name almost,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Um,
I
but
feel like
yeah,
VFriends is his
Gary.
avenue.
Oh yeah, for sure. I
VFriends will
think
be his
so.
avenue for going mainstream, especially with, you know, uh, he he's literally investing himself into the space early, and as soon as NFTs become mainstream, which they will be mainstream, like a lot of people might deny this and be like, "Oh, it's just a JPEG. I can screenshot it and print it out. Look at me right clicking on OpenSea and printing it out. Look at me, I'm the owner now." No, you're not. When you're buying an NFT, you buy the certificate of authenticity, right? That you get with gold bars or that you get with collectible coins, right? Without that certificate, no one's going to buy it. No one's going to even look at you or take you seriously if you come into a pawn shop or if you come into any place that you're trying to sell anything collectible. Um, for example, yeah, gold coins, right? No one's going to take you seriously unless you have that certificate of authenticity. And that's what the blockchain is. That's what the blockchain is providing is that certificate of authenticity stating that you have this token with this image attached to it, but the underlying utility is yours. Like anybody can print out, my lava determined dolphin, but it doesn't mean that they're going to be able to go to VCon.
Mhm.
Like
Exactly.
it doesn't mean that they're going to be accepted into the community that's been created because of VFriends, right? It doesn't mean that they're going to be able to, it doesn't mean that they're going to be able to get into those Discord channels that we have specifically for holders.
Which are
So,
fire, by the way.
right?
Not to
Yeah.
FOMO anybody. I will admit I need to be more active in the VFriends Discord. I've been, as you know, I've been transitioning out of IT, and it's
Yeah.
right there. So, but man, I couldn't agree more on that front. So, I'd love to hear more about your entry into the crypto space and then your prior background, right? What helped you kind of pick your lane, so to speak? And I don't want to say your lane as if you're only focused on one thing,
Yeah.
but like your favorite part, so to speak. I don't want to spoil too much. I'd rather have you do the introduction on yourself as far as
So
your credentials, and so I'll give you the floor here.
I started just quite literally coding, right? Like I tried to code multiple different websites, and in the crypto space, what I did or what I tried to do a couple times was create those little faucet sites. Um, and those almost never went anywhere. I mean, you make a couple bucks, and it's way too much, right? It's too much having to buy crypto to then give to other people to watch those ads, and then you keep maybe 10% or something like that. And so at that point it becomes like a numbers game where if you have a bunch of users, then you actually will make a good amount of money. But if you don't have any users, you're not going to make jack. And yeah, no, like I don't know. I was coding games on Roblox before all of this. And I was getting into coding because I was miserable in school. Hated that. Like every single day going into the building, learning absolutely nothing useful, and then going out of the building. It's like every damn day, same exact BS. And I want to change that, right? Like my family's never been rich. I've never been rich. No one's ever been rich. No one's ever had enough money to like my family didn't have enough money to give me 20 bucks every week so I can go and go to the roller rink or go out with friends to go eat food. And I had a lot of friends that always paid for me when I after school we went to McDonald's and I was the only, most of the time I was the only person with that money and they're just like, yeah, screw it, here you go. Just like get something off the dollar menu or get something off, whatever. And I hated being that kid, It's just like the one guy that can't do anything for himself, And so, hell, even prior to all of this, I was selling candy in school until I got suspended for it because I was putting kids in danger because of allergies. I'm pretty sure if you're allergic to something and I'm selling candy in middle school, you already know that you're allergic to something, right? Like, and it's not like this, it happened because I sold somebody candy and then they had an allergic reaction. No, it just they said I was putting kids in danger because I was selling candy. When in reality,
Shouldn't be on the shelf. You know
well,
what
no,
I mean?
they were selling the exact same candy at their school snack store. I was making more money than them.
Hustler, straight entrepreneur from the get.
I was making more fucking money than them, and so they shut me down. And I was like, okay, well, it's not like I'm over here, selling, 10-cent packs of pot like those other kids are over there.
Right?
Hey, look that way. Why aren't you doing something about those? Why are you worrying about me selling freaking Funyuns and Skittles? Like, gosh, like it tells you
Beating them at
something
their own
about the
game.
system. Yeah, I mean, it tells you something about the system, right? Like, they don't care as long as you aren't making more money than they are in a field that they are invested in. Like, that's when you realize, like, hey, this place isn't for me. This place isn't somewhere where I'm gonna benefit long term, right? And the way I saw it, honestly, was yeah, I'm going to graduate high school and I'm going to get a piece of paper that's not going to guarantee me a job. Actually, it might guarantee me a job, maybe like, you know, $7.50 an hour, if even that. And or I go to college and then I spend 4 years in college on whatever the hell I'm wanting to do at that point, and that doesn't guarantee you a job whatsoever either. So you could leave college with a bunch of debt, not being able to find a job, which is what happened during COVID. All of a sudden there was no jobs for those college kids that were graduating to take. And any of them that weren't, taught specifically extremely well how to use a computer for the field that they were going to go into, they were screwed. And so it it changed everything. Like, especially like for me, like right now, I've dropped out of high school completely and utterly because end of the day, I'm making more sitting on my computer, right, than I ever would be spending those 4 years at college, then getting a job that I hate, like, it would just continue the cycle of go into building, learn nothing, or in, the case of a job, do well, do work that you literally just kinda have to, like, completely and utterly, like, robot through it, right? Turn off your creativity, just get to work, and then so into building, out of building, into building, out of building. Friday, into building, out of building. Like, I can't do that. You're literally going to high school and going to college, and then you get out to do the exact same thing you've been doing in high school and college. Just this time you're getting paid a little for it, right? Like they couldn't pay me $7.50 to go to school. They couldn't pay me $7.50 an hour to go to school because I still wouldn't go, right? And so that's when you realize, like, hey, that's literally what they're training me to do, is to get paid $7.50 to do exactly what I'm doing here. Or maybe, $10.50, maybe double minimum wage someplace. Maybe you'll make, 100 or 200 grand in another, a year in another profession, wherever. But whenever you're doing something just for money, you're going to get burnt out so freaking quickly. And as soon as that burnout hits, it's going to be like, yeah, okay, the money's great, but, 90% of my time is being miserable and 10% of my time is having fun with the money I've made. No.
And this, right? And this technology is giving everybody that opportunity, you know what I mean, to take action on that. Whether you're a programmer or not, there's room for different niches, as we were talking about, and those niches will then eventually become, I'm sure you already see it. Discord community manager is going to be a salary-based job if it isn't already. You know what I mean? And back in the Facebook early on, the thought of a Facebook social media manager, content manager as a salary was fucking beyond us, right? But here we are, another breakthrough in tech, another, I want to use this word lightly, but revolution in tech.
I'm going to be like a little bit open here. Like my going rate, right, for Discord community management is $20 an hour, right? In my state, minimum wage is $7.50. I am a high school dropout with no college degree, no prior work experience, and making more than double the minimum wage in my state. Something's
Fuck
wrong.
yeah.
There's an issue somewhere, right? Because the way that the system teaches you is that if you don't have those two pieces of paper, right? Those two pieces of paper, if you don't have them, you're not even going to get a minimum wage job, right? And it really comes down to like, I mean, all of this has really showed me like companies couldn't give two shits about those two pieces of paper anymore. It doesn't matter. I guarantee you that the people that are going to college next year, right? So that's like my class, my class year. 4 years from now, when they get out of college, and it's going to be between me and them for a job opportunity, they're going to go with the person that has a lot more experience down and written, and recommendations from companies, right, that have already been established. So it's like reputation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it's becoming now. It's like the world is becoming a reputation game, because what companies have started realizing, what I've even started realizing, is that, yeah, you can go to school for 4 years, but the way that the system works, they don't teach you, they don't educate you, they just spit a knowledge in your face, tell you to write it down on a piece of paper, and then you forget about it. So when you go into that line of work, and this is true for most of them, not all, right? Like engineering, like you need to go to college for, right? Architecture, same thing. Don't try to build a goddamn house if you haven't went to college for it, because you're gonna if I had built the room that I'm sitting in, I guarantee you 5 minutes from now I'm gonna fall through the floor. Okay,
Does
so
building them on wooden sticks count? I don't know if they'd support
right.
a couple tons.
Hey, does chewed gum work the same as cement?
Yeah, we'll find out here. I got a little duct
Find
tape
out,
though. We can patch
right?
it up.
Right. And so like really all this this entire like COVID pandemic BS has really just showed me that, hey, end of the day, just execute, just do what you're doing, right? And eventually you'll find someone to pay you for it. And that's the point. Like,
I love that.
do what you're doing. Eventually somebody will pay you for it. Or hell, make money off of it yourself, right? Because if you would have asked me even a year or two ago, right? Hey, you're going to get paid to do what you already do for free in like 20 other Discord communities, right? And you're going to get paid, almost triple minimum wage for it. I would have been like, fuck off. Right? What's the catch?
Yeah,
what's the catch?
Where's the camera?
Right?
Recording this right here.
Really? Like literally Discord management and Discord just like moderation and everything has been done for free up until these big brands and companies moved in and needed somebody that knew the layout of the social media platform, right? And was able to manage and get everything done that needs to get done in a Discord server. Because it's not like managing an Instagram page where you get content here, put it out at this time of day, and there's a content schedule. Here it's quite literally, you got to know what you're doing with permissions. You got to know what you're giving out to people. You got to know exactly how to word things, where to place certain information, where to allow and disallow certain things, how to moderate certain channels, how to set up bots to automate a lot of the work that you would have to do manually otherwise. I mean, it's a space that's going to be growing really, really fast. And I mean, any professional Discord server, I guarantee you the main like Discord manager, like the main admin over there is 100% on a salary.
I love that. So I'm going to squirrel for a quick moment for anybody watching. If you have kids, or if you know anybody who has kids, or if they're kind of in this space but not really, maybe they're gamers and they know Discord and they want to go down that path, like give that little nudge and say, hey, there's going to be an opportunity. So learn as much as you can, test, create your own server. You know what I mean? Have some fun with it. Would you encourage something like that for anybody, really? You don't have to be young. I feel like, right? I'd love to hear your 2 cents there.
I mean, honestly, like, do what you want. Like, here's the thing. I met the person, right? I met the friend that I created the ERC20 token with, right? On a goddamn video game. So, like, you know, I literally met most of the influential people in my life and mentors through goddamn video games, right? Like, you know, I'll have an issue, and then here's a person that's 40 years old that, you know, I look up to, you know, and they're able to give me life advice while we're playing a damn game, right? And a lot of people don't have access to that. People don't have access to mentors nowadays, right? You might have a teacher, if it's a really, really, really good teacher, right, that will give you that, will fill the role of being a mentor for you, right? But you don't just go out into the world nowadays and find yourself a mentor. It doesn't work like that anymore, right? You gotta like literally video games. Like I'm not even like right? Like that's the only place nowadays where you're gonna find people either at their best or at their worst, right? Like it's something to connect with, right? Like when you see a kid today playing a video game, I mean, I wouldn't like when I have kids, I'm not gonna think, oh, they're playing games and they're rotting their brain and you know they're not doing anything productive. That's networking. That's fucking networking right there. That is the skill you need to network right goddamn there. You can't find any teammates. You go out and you know, post a post somewhere. Hey, looking for teammates for this game. You are freaking networking, right? Because now you know this person. Let's say somebody on that game, hey, you know, their day job is, you know, a contractor and they're actually in your area, right? And hey, you know, you've got a leaky roof. Hey, you know, we've been playing for a couple months. I know you're a contractor. I don't have very much money, but you know, do you think you get that fixed for me? You know, I've been quoted maybe $2,000. Person will come back at you and say $2,000. What the fuck? I'll do it for $500. Right there, you go. Networking, right? Like
building that community. It's through community, building that relationship through interaction and through having fun on something. That's I know exactly what you're talking about. I went through it with WoW. Unfortunately, I didn't stay in touch with everybody, but there were some people in my college town that I ended up linking up with.
Yeah.
And you had this almost brotherhood, like you've known them for so much longer, and it really only been a few years, you know, but it feel like you go way back since you're kids.
Yeah, it's because like you're literally like right now, me and you are spending, you know, time one-on-one speaking, right? A video game, that's what you're doing. Like, and some of these games you play for like 5 hours a day or something like that. You're just speaking to this person for 5 hours a goddamn day.
We're just looking at a screen, you know, not really looking at faces, but the sound is there. Right.
Right.
Just
I mean, like
you
can tell what a person is like based on their demeanor in a game, right? And based on their demeanor online. Now, I'm not saying go and meet up with every single person you meet online because that's a horrible idea.
Most definitely.
But some people, 100%. Give me 1 second. My mom's trying to get something out of this room, so
yeah,
no
worries.
Stop my camera real quick.
Yep, no worries. I realized, sorry, audience, for neglecting comments. We were just in the flow of the combo. You know how we do it with interviews around here. Let's get back to some of these. Oh, good question. Mint price. I wonder, did I miss it? I believe it's 0.0. I don't want to speak too soon. Tim, do you have some alpha on the mint price for Starman NFT?
Yes, I do. And if you've joined the Discord and you scroll up just a little bit, you'll see what our total supply is and what our minting price will be. So current minting price will be 0.1 ETH.
0.1. And we have 5,000. Small supply. Love it.
All right. Let's see. Okay.
Oh. Yeah. Nadine, was this related to that question? I believe so.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was related. I'm looking right now. Yeah, replying to at Dream Joker.
Yeah, and then would love resources beyond Discord Moderator Academy to learn more about standard practices. Do you have any insight? Maybe something to Google.
There is no standard practice.
There's no standard?
It's brand based. Like, It's totally and utterly brand based. Like whenever you go into a Discord, they're different every single time and unique for a reason, right? There's no standard, oh, you must have this, you must have this. I guess the only standard would be like an announcement channel and a rules channel, right?
Mhm.
But other than that, it's, you know, I'd recommend trying to become a moderator for a Discord community that's like 2,000 members or like even 500 members, right? At first.
Mhm.
And you'll learn, slowly but surely, you'll learn exactly what needs to be done to manage a Discord server. I mean, that's how I did it. If you're asking for a Discord 101 that hasn't been provided by Discord already, there isn't really any out there right now, because it can't really be taught as easily, because you need to
Mhm.
have a personal connection with the brand that you're building on that community server to fully take advantage of all of the different features and variation that you can put into a Discord server, without making it seem very, basic and uh, like just all very bland, right? You don't want it to be
Yeah.
bland. You want it to be exciting. You want it to be new and different.
Mhm. Man, I just flashbacked like doing creative for small to mid-sized companies of a product that I wasn't passionate about drained me, right?
Yeah.
Whereas doing creative for something I'm passionate about, I'm like, holy shit, I got it. But it took a lot of trial and error for me to realize, okay, I could do it as a service for X amount of time, but then it drains me.
Yeah.
So got to focus that energy on stuff I enjoy, stuff I love, and that just flashed that thought in my head. So I wanted to squirrel over.
all the projects that I work with and work for, like I literally get invested into those projects. I literally do research on like beforehand, before even that initial call, like, hey, you got time, you got, et cetera, like to make
Mhm.
sure that I can get invested into this, right? Like this somehow has some kind of connection to me so that I'm able to be like, okay, I think the best way for this brand to go is going to be this and this and this. And I can actually put those ideas and put those suggestions out there.
Mhm.
And, as long as I'm able to do that, then I'm able to stay on a project for a really, really, really long time, right? As long as I'm personally invested in whatever I'm working on, right? And
Mhm.
that's just kind of like how it goes for me, is quite literally, if I'm not invested in what I'm working on, I could I could care, you know, less about the money. Like screw the fucking money, right? Even if they were paying me double, what my going rate is, or triple what my going rate is, I'm not going to stay there if I'm not, being creatively challenged, right?
Mhm.
Like it's all about that. It's a little, yeah, like Gary says, it's about the game rather than things that come with it. I mean, don't get me wrong, the things that come with it are nice, right? I mean, don't stop paying me, but
Right.
right, I still need that challenge, that creative challenge, right? It's kind of like it's really a two-sided deal. They pay me for a service, right?
Mhm.
I give them the service, but for them to get that service in its full 100% effectiveness, they got to give me a little bit of a challenge, right? They got to work with me. Which is, I feel like, what a lot of jobs should be, but they aren't, right? Because, for the past 100 years, everybody's been going through a system where it's like, your boss isn't going to give a shit about you, so you should give a shit about your boss. Just take your paycheck and go home. Screw that. Screw that.
Yeah. I've felt that way since then. I didn't want to interrupt, but I'm also a high school dropout. I learned by experience, trial and error, testing, tasting. I was fortunate enough to have tech and the environment to grow up in, but there's something to it. I couldn't agree more on that front that there needs to be a lot of improvements. On the contrary, right, I will admit that for some types of individuals, it works and they're happy, right?
Yeah.
And by all means, if you enjoy the process of that route, I tip my hat off to you, but it was never for me. And I can tell, like-minded individual right here, it was never for Tim either.
Yeah,
So
I mean, there are people that it's going to work. It's going to fit every single block into place for the rest of their lives, and they will be happy with it. It's not for everybody to go off, the written path, right? Everyone's like, follow the yellow brick road, follow the yellow brick road. And I'm like, hey, look, there's red bricks over there, right? And it's like, it's funny too,
squirrel.
because I'm diagnosed with ADHD, right? So seeing this one path and then, oh, look, red bricks,
Is that
like,
a gold sparkle over there?
exactly, right? It's like, oh, squirrel. I'm gonna go follow the squirrel, see where that goes, right?
You're in the right spot for that, my friend. You see the banner at the bottom? I have a little squirrel emoji saying hi, because we do a lot of squirrel moments here where we'll just random
Somebody on
get
Twitch just said
sidetracked.
squirrel.
Yeah, a dream joker. Man, I love what you said about that. Like, I would love your opinion, no pressure. But our Discord is bitmonkey.gg/Discord. We'll take you there. And I've been slowly improving. I've done something unique with the categories where I'll use these emojis to use as kind of like a header. And then the bullet points of each channel starts off with the same emoji, generally using different colored dots or like the globe for the community section. But I really want to build a place that I want to be in 24/7. And we're launching a number of different channels under the Learn Cryptos and NFTs, where on my Tech Tip Tuesdays, every Tuesday, I'm going to start creating micro pieces of content to then put on the Discord, right? And I'm using personally, like, I'll be transparent. I'm going to be looking at what you guys have done at VFriends as well as Impact Theory to improve on, right? Kind of use that as like a standard or benchmark to then be like, pick and choose what works for us, because not everything will, but I'd love your opinion on it, because we've spent quite a bit of time and we still have a lot more to do. We have a glossary launching in the Start Here section, but
so like right off the bat, and VFriends is also very, very, very guilty in this. So many channels. So many channels.
So
like
too many.
It like when you look at like the Starman NFT Discord server, or if you ever join the artificial Discord server, you'll notice that there are maybe like there's a couple different categories. The most important categories might have like 3 channels, maybe 5 channels maximum. And then like the less important categories will have like, you know, all like the clutter, right? But what you want people to see and what you want people to like always like click on, you want that at the top, in the center, somewhere just like where it's easily visible, right? And where people don't have to scroll down for it. And you want it to be kind of like isolated, right? Be like, okay, so announcements, important information, stuff like that. That's why it's always in its own little category, and it's why it's in like an important or information categories, because that's what you want people to see as soon as they get into the server. And if you just make a billion different channels, it becomes a mess to moderate. It becomes a mess to you know, put content out on every single one of those channels. It becomes a mess for people that are coming into the Discord to actually keep up with what you're doing. Because like, you know, even like right now, if you posted a message in, let's say the Monkey Bites chat, how many people, like what percentage of people do you think would click on that and actually see it? You know, given that it's so far down the list, and, you know, that one, let's say you put a really important chat down there, maybe 3, 4, 5% will see it, but that's only going to be your active people on Discord. Like, you still got to treat it like, you know, people that are, you know, back in the day when people looked at like, you know, super businessy people, you know, always on their phones, right? They'll look at a message for like half a second, see what the first 3 words are, and then move on. Same thing here, right? Those first 3 words, but in this case, I guess it would be like the first 3 channels.
So we've talked about that, because you don't even see what's hidden. It's absurd. You know, like, and you're giving me an idea already. Shit, I'm loving this. Thank you, because I couldn't agree more. There's like, out the gate, I knew there was too many, and I was just like, even for me, it's like sometimes we have a hidden team chat at the very bottom. Sometimes I forget to check up on that because it's at the very bottom. You know what I mean? So exactly what you're saying. It happens even internally with all the hidden channels. So I'm thinking we're going to shave it down to 7. 7's a number that is very meaningful to me. So I feel like if I can knock down 47 channels into 7 channels.
And I mean, at the end of the day, it's also like, you know, you can have a whole bunch of hidden channels, right, for internal measures. Like, for example, a lot of my servers that I create, they always have a staff chat. They have an admin only. So they'll have like a moderator only. They'll have an admin only. They'll have bot logs. They'll have like ban, join, and leave messages in another channel or another spot. And then like internal statistical, you know, data that will be posted in another channel. And that's totally normal, right? Because that channel, you could usually just kind of like, you know, hide it away. And then, you know, you could just, that's what categories are for, right? You just click on the little category, and then all the channels underneath it that there's no new messages in, right? It'll get kind of hidden. So, I mean, for staff channels, it's okay to have like 1,000 of them. It doesn't really matter, right? But as long as like the end user experience, like a regular user coming in, is able to find information that they need and are able to have that really like real easy like user flow, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they go from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next, and they're not left feeling confused of where they're supposed to go for X amount of information.
Mm-hmm. I need to apply that mindset of developing sales funnels or directing traffic, so to speak, on a landing page.
I wouldn't say directing traffic. I'd say like, what's your average attention span? Divide that by 2, and then go through your Discord channel and see how far you went over.
I like that.
And why I say divide by 2 is because it's your project, so you're gonna have a lot more attention onto it than the general user.
Mm-hmm. That's true. I'll take the time to actually make sure there's no typo or something. No, I love it. I love the insight into Discord servers in general. I appreciate you going in depth on that front.
Yeah, typos don't really matter. The only people that will actually point out typos are people that are really pretentious and want to like point out something you did wrong. But honestly, and I do this as well, is like I'll be reading through a post or an announcement, right? And then there will be like what spelled WAHT by accident, right? And my brain will just autocorrect it. I wouldn't even notice that there was an issue with that announcement or that post that the person put out, because like I'm not looking for issues. People that are looking for issues are going to point it out. So it's like,
and I've noticed, like, depending on the community, a lot of the people who point it out actually do so in a helpful way, which is awesome to see. But then you see some Discord servers, right? Depending on the community. Some Discord servers do not. I'm very grateful that I think since day one, without doubt, like the small little crew we have there at BitMonkey Studio has been dedicated. They've been helpful. Nobody's been a dick, which is one of our first rules. Just don't be a dick, you know? But I'm just so grateful, and I hope it sticks that way. But I know as things grow, you know, as we start announcing more things with different paths, I don't want to speak too much on it right now. I don't want to turn it into a shill fest, you know what I mean? But but I'd like to, if you don't mind, sharing, like, from here moving forward. You're working on these 3 different projects, right? And these 3 different projects and companies and brands. Do you envision yourself ever starting your own brand? And if so, what would that be? What is that chief aim if you could create your own? So this could be hypothetical as well. Let's put on our dreaming caps and get back to being creative children. You know what I mean? And I'd love to hear it.
If and I feel
that's not too crazy of a question.
Yeah, it's something that I kind of started thinking about, but not exactly. If that makes any sense. Like, I was trying to start kind of like my own branding, kind of starting you know, my own little thing out. I'm sure a lot of people kind of like noticed it, but then I like you know, I was on Wanna Be a V Friends Live, and I was on a bunch of other podcasts for a while, right? Like after that initial Gary that initial Gary call. And I don't know why I did this, but it was kind of like, you know, I got overwhelmed really quickly, because back then my mindset was like, you know, nobody in this world is actually going to help you. There's always somebody, you know, they give you something like a gift or whatever, and, you know, 100% it's most likely not a gift. They're going to mention it later, and you're going to have to, you know, pay them back for it somehow. So I never accepted gifts. I never accepted anything like that. And that's where my mindset was. Which it's been completely and utterly flip-flopped upside down and fucking thrown out the window at this point. But I kind of like, you know, shelled myself off, right? Or like just kind of hid away from the public view after that, right? It was too much positivity. And I know that's going to sound super pretentious. You know, like it's going to sound like, oh man, this guy's an asshole, right? But like, you know, too much positivity. You know, I was overwhelmed. I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
I don't mean to cut you off, but man, I know you're not alone. I know you're not alone because I feel like a majority of people in this space are introverts at heart. So like this overwhelming flow of positive energy and positive attitude is like, whoa. And like these acts of giving is like, what the fuck do you want? Or what's really like on the flip side when really it's like, holy shit. This is like, holy shit.
And I mean, that's what the internet is. You're not going to go. Let me tell you something. This microphone that I'm using right now, I'm not sure if right there, right? This is a Shure mic, right? These things, you know, this is a podcast mic, right there. It's got a stand and everything. I've never had this fancy of a damn microphone, right? I didn't even know I needed this type of microphone. I used to use the mic that came with these, right? And it wasn't that great. Somebody from the community, actually, I'm just going to call him out by name, Sal DeGuardia, which I'm sure you guys know. He sent me this mic.
Shout out, Sal. That's amazing.
And on I went live in my own Discord server, which back then was Live with Tim D, which that's why I tried to brand myself as is live with Tim D, because I discussed a bunch of different topics and stuff. But that like unboxing of the mic, I was like, I tried to negotiate my way into paying them back. You know, that's how messed up my mindset was from like, you know, just general life in this little system, right? I tried so damn hard to be like, I'll pay you back. Give me your goddamn wallet address. Give me your PayPal. Give me something, right? I'll pay you the fucking money back, right? Because I never have gotten anything that hasn't been without a price, right? And when I found out that people are, you know, some people actually are able to take offense to that in certain ways, right? In terms of like, you know, let me pay you back, right?
Like some cultures do, for sure.
Yeah, right? It's honestly, it literally started with like, I had a problem with my AC in this house, right? Like in this room, literally. And it was like 98 in here. It was like middle of summer back then. And I was just telling myself, I knew it was, I'm gonna figure it out, right? But like day 3 of like 98-degree weather, and I went onto like a Clubhouse chat, and you know, someone asked me how I was doing, and I lost it, right? I was like, oh, the fucking AC can't get this stupid shit to work. God damn, you know, went off pretty much on the damn AC system, and it wasn't like out of you know, help me, or you know, it wasn't a cry for help, or it wasn't like, you know, like a, hey, you know, this problem should be your problem too, or whatever. No, I'm not entitled like that. I don't fucking deserve anything. Nobody deserves anything, right? I was just saying it to get it off my chest, right? Because sometimes you got to vent, right? Like it's
exactly.
Just sometimes you got to vent.
Yep.
And what came out of that was the community coming together, and they made a GoFundMe for me and raised $4.5 grand to get my AC fixed. And I was able to get my AC fixed. And right then and there, I was like, how do I pay these people back? And I tried, and I kept trying, and I kept trying. And so many people insisted, like the person that made the GoFundMe, sorry about that. My cat is deciding to chew on the cardboard and be annoying.
Hey, alien eyes! Everyone see that? Alien eyes floating in the shadows. That was no cat. That's an alien.
Wait, what?
So in the stream, I saw these two eyes just pop out. They look like little snake alien eyes. So, I can kind of still see him in the background right there. Hey,
oh, it's my cat. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, your cat in the background. Yeah, yes. Not me.
There we go. I was like, wait, what are you talking about? Like, alien eyes, like, is there something that I'm not seeing here? Like, am I being possessed?
Right? Hello? One of those things you only see in the reflection.
Yeah. Had me spooked there for a second. I was like, you know, Halloween wasn't even 2 weeks ago. Don't get me started now. Okay, now she's throwing stuff.
We're worth it, bro. I love it. Thank you, Gary and Chris, for your input there. Well said. And then we got
that,
Alien Eyes.
Chris, that is what I had to learn before I let myself back into the public view. That is something I had to deal with internally before I let myself come back and even be on this stream, right? Which this is one of my first streams that I've come back into the public eye with. And then I guess my very first day of going back into the public eye was me posting something again on my Instagram and posting a couple things on my Instagram again, because I went totally dead. I went completely and utterly out of public view, and like that was it, because I didn't know how to process it, and it took me a little bit, but now I know how to process it. And it's definitely a life skill that I had to learn to have any type of success in this industry and in this place, especially where you know, being even a moderator for the VFriends Discord server, like there's a certain branding, right, with being involved with Gary that you have to follow, just like as a person, right? Like you have to you have to have kind of like the same values. And it's yeah, it was kind of like something calling me out, like, hey, you know, maybe you're pretending that you have these values, but you really fucking don't. So go sit down in a corner for a little while and figure it out, you know? Like, but yeah, no, like my main point was like, it started with that AC, right? To where I started feeling kind of like, okay, if I can't pay these people back, what do I do to pay it back to them? And then it started feeling like I was going live and I was doing things and I was building my own brand because I was doing it to pay these people back in some way, shape, or form, which is when I realized, like, hold on, I got to take a minute. I got to fucking stop all this nonsense, right? And get down into, like, you know, my own point of view and my own mindset and think about, like, hold on, you know, I can't have something that I love to do end up feeling like I'm working for somebody else, right? Like, and in reality, it was never like that, but in my own mind, that's what it manifested as. And so, that's something that I had to
You're
deal with.
indebted, right? Like
Yeah.
you're indebted to others.
Like I'm in debt. Yeah. And that literally comes from, because my family's been in debt all our entire lives. We've been in debt. My stepdad's still in debt to 150 grand to the IRS. Right? Like, my mom's in debt.
Yeah.
My stepdad's in debt. My grandma was in debt. My grandfather was in debt. Everybody was in goddamn debt. I'm the only person that doesn't have any debt because I haven't even lived long enough or even legally allowed to have debt yet, right? So my main fear and worry in this entire world right now is going into any type of debt, because to me that's like death, right? I've seen what it did to my grandparents. I've seen what it did to my parents. I've seen what it did to my quality of life growing up. So it's not something that I'm going to allow to happen for me, or, you know, eventually when I have kids. You won't catch me in any type of debt. Like, I'll live in a cardboard box before I take out a loan.
Can I say it? Can I say it? Anybody else in the audience think he was in his 20s, maybe 30s? You know what I mean? I'm just gonna say it right now. So if you don't mind sharing your age, like, you are wise beyond your years, my friend, because the perspective and the experience that you've already acquired so far, and the challenge of kind of going into solitude through that self-discovery is something that, I don't know, for me personally, it didn't happen until like 27, 28, 29. You know what I mean? I lived so many years trying to please others. And for you to have discovered this so young, I'm just like, oh! I was going to ask you a question. What would you ask your younger self? But it's like, damn, how far back would you go? You know? So I just want to tip my hat off to you, man. It's, yeah. So Brandy's saying early 20s. Okay. How about everybody else? I'm curious, because I don't think I dropped your age anywhere. I didn't really tell anybody.
I think I've dropped my own age a lot of times in Discord and like on Instagram. Yeah. I think it's still, is it on Instagram? I think it might be on Instagram.
I'm not sure. I did check out the video. I did see let's see, Gary. Yeah, he's wise beyond his years. I already knew, though, because I've been around VFriends since the beginning. So shout out to Gary, Dream Joker there.
You are a real OG if you remember the live Q&As with Tim D. Back in the day in the VFriends Discord chat. If you remember that, you are an OG.
I'm sure he does. He's such a good observer, and he has sorry to put you on the spot, so much alpha because he observes. He hops in these discords. He may not type as much, but he is there. He's fucking there, and I know he's an OG. I'm sure, right? He's laughing. I didn't know what that meant until I moved here. It's such a pitfall.
If you remember the phrase, and you have a great rest of your day, then you are an OG.
Hey, man, that voice right there. You could be the next Bruce Buffer if you wanted to, have your own outro.
That's why Sal sent me this mic. I recorded an intro for his podcast.
No shit.
Yeah.
Dope. That's awesome. I have no clue. I have squirreled already. I have no clue what that's in response to, so forgive me. I emoji the shit out of other people's posts, though. Yeah, me too.
Somebody said that they didn't know what debt meant until they moved here, I'm guessing to the US, right? Mm-hmm. And it's such a pitfall in this country. Like it or not, America runs on debt. The entire country is in debt. The citizens are in debt. The president is most likely in debt. Everybody is in debt. America runs on debt. If you got rid of debt in today's economy in the United States, and my hair is being very... Anyways, if you got rid of debt in the United States today, our entire economy would crash. The value of the dollar would be in question. The main currency for oil would no longer be the dollar, and we would have a major correction within our economy. So if debt ever goes away, I hate debt with a passion, but I also understand that it is necessary for the economy of this country. And it's a sad thing to say, but at the end of the day, that's just how it is.
And on that note, I know that it would change the status of a lot of the wealthy, right? Because there's a lot of wealthy individuals and corporations who utilize debt as leverage to build more wealth, right?
I mean, to be fair,
if that goes away, they're also fucked too, you know?
I mean, to be fair, I haven't made a lot of money, right? Or I don't have a lot of money that's liquid, right? I have NFTs, I have VFriends and all that, but I don't have a lot of liquid money. What I do with the liquid money that I do have, I put into crypto lending areas because it is passive income. It is literally the only way. Yeah, I mean, 6%.
Small thing we have here.
I mean, go to a bank, 6% APR. Good luck. They'll give you 0.5, maybe less, right? Find some place that'll give you 40% APR. I'll wait. Crypto, 40% APR. That's on the low end.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
America runs on debt. Crypto, like it or not, is now being run mostly by Americans. I mean, or at least the American financial system. Because when you really think about it, yeah, China's a huge player in it, and so is Russia in terms of the global cryptocurrency market. But at the end of the day, the financial system of cryptocurrency as a whole is turning into the quite literal clone of an American financial system. Just in this case, you can't print more, which is the American economy is great. American economy is absolutely amazing when you think about it in terms of generating wealth and just general like management of wealth, right? But they can just print more. So it's just always that question of, okay, how much is too much to print? Yeah, exactly what they're doing right now.
It's fucking insane.
See, now crypto is an exact clone of the financial, of the American economy, in my eyes, right?
But you can't print fake ones.
They just can't print more.
You can try, but
yeah, I mean, imagine if instead of deflation every single year on the American dollar, you had inflation every single year on the American dollar, and that's what's happening with crypto.
I want 25-cent burgers. I've only heard these stories, back in the day where dude,
you can buy a burger right now from McDonald's for 0.00004 ETH.
Ooh,
if ETH was $1, if one ETH was $1 bill, technically right now a burger is 1 millionth of an ETH.
I fucking loved that comparison, that like hit a light in my head. Did that hit a light in everybody's?
The hundredth
like,
of a penny.
Looking at it from that perspective, like especially as this technology ages and withstands the test of time, right? Well, that number is only going to increase, rather decrease, right? So instead of 0.0004, it'll be 0.00004. And you're still left with the same amount up top, right? Light bulb, right? Light bulb.
And not just that, but it's no longer.
A lot of people do to chime in already. I know it depends on the country, right? But as far as accepting crypto, I'm not affiliated with them by any means.
Look up Coin Payments.
Coin Payments, okay. Have you tried BitPay?
Coin Payments is the market leader in.
Are they?
Point of sale cryptocurrency systems.
Coinpayments.net, I'm guessing.
Yep. They allow anyone to pay for anything with crypto.
I love it.
They'll even do your fucking taxes for you.
And I'm sure they have some type of option, right? As a business owner, if they choose to say, let's say, keep 30% of the assets in whatever crypto they accept.
Yeah.
They can do that, right?
Yeah. You can either keep it in the same thing or a percentage of the same currency that's been sent, or you could just set all of it to automatically be sold to US dollar or USDT, and then
if you don't want to touch it, right?
Yeah. If you want to make sure that it's always worth the exact same amount, yeah.
Okay, dude, love it. Thank you for that. Thank you for this.
Yeah, it's really easy to integrate. That's the market leader right there.
Cool. We were answering you, Bert, aka PR King of Hearts. Let's fill a lot more places. We'll start to yeah. So yeah, man, it's already a thing. So check out Coin Payments or even BitPay, but Coin Payments seems to be the leading dog. So check them out, especially if you're in business or you're looking to start a business and you want to open your doors to these markets. I'd highly recommend it. Like, I don't know how much I've shared with you about the types of clients I would serve, but a lot of my clients are old school business owners. So they've known my early involvement. They know why I'm retiring from the IT space. And I've always tried to tell them, like, hey, it doesn't hurt to just open your doors. It doesn't cost you anything else. It's just something else to keep tabs on. However, you are opening your doors to an entirely new market of people willing to support and spend money. I love it. Is that Cat? What's Cat's name? That is Cat.
Hunter.
Hey, that's what BitmonkeyTV is all about. Squirrel moments, little tech difficulties.
Okay. She doesn't want to.
For sure. I love it.
I tried to pick her up because I told her to get her butt over here, and she came over, and then I tried to pick her up, and then she just jumped as quickly as possible out of my hand and wherever she went. Okay, well.
Ninja Cat. Straight ninja, hella shy.
Ninja Cat. Yeah, Ninja Cat. I mean, like, I wouldn't be surprised if I woke up one morning and she's over there on the roof.
Is it an outdoor cat or primarily indoors?
Indoor. She was outdoor, and then she got hit by a car.
Ooh. So what that? She has 8 more lives though, right?
She does. She came out of it absolutely totally recovered. No part. She had she fractured her pelvis, and then she totally recovered. Like fully recovered. Like no issues.
That's insane. Straight Ninja Cat right there.
Yeah.
Do you feel, I know we're turning this into a Q&A, but I've got to answer them. Do you feel you can go to crypto from the start, or that people need to transition from money to crypto? Do you think any of that matters? So
dude, you can go right to crypto. Okay. I got my first paycheck through crypto. That's the only thing. If your paycheck is paid in crypto, you can go straight to crypto. If your paycheck is paid in cash or dollar, you got to go through the monetary system. The only issue is taxes, because none of your crypto is taxable until it is until you gain that worth in dollar. So technically, if you wanted to, you could take all your payments in crypto and never gain that crypto in dollar and only paid in crypto, and you wouldn't pay any taxes on it because you never actually spent that money or cashed out on that investment, which is exactly how the wealthy have been staying wealthy for so long. They buy stocks, their stocks go up, they take out loans with their stocks as collateral. They let the loans go out, like they let the loans die, right? Or get collected, right? So the collateral is taken from them. Their loan now becomes capital, and that capital cannot be taxed because it was originally a loan. But crypto just allows everyone to do it whenever they want.
And as time progresses, right, I know there's been a lot of concern with certain laws, blah, blah, blah.
Good luck regulating something that you cannot control 51% of. Find me a solution. I'll wait.
Yeah, man, it's all dependent on how you want to run your business or your brand, right? If you only want to operate within that ecosystem, you should also be, right? Always be prepared. If you're a ride or die, then all in.
I mean, why do you think things like USDT, so USD Tether or USD coin exist? They are still an investment because it goes up and down every single day by like 0.0000002% or whatever, right? So it's still technically in the stock, but it's always worth $1. Why do you think that exists? Like, real question, why do you think that exists? Like, that exists other than a safe haven for when crypto markets go, right? Because, you know, we have those crashes, right? Just like the regular stock market, we'll have those crashes. But those currencies like USDT, USDC, so USD coin and USD Tether, and then there's like Terra USD, everything that's like, or DAI, that's always bound to be $1 worth 1 USD. Originally, I guarantee you they were made for tax evasion. And that's a sad truth. But I mean, like, hey, if it's legal, I'll keep doing it. As long as it's legal. Can't go to jail for an unrealized gain. Am I right, boys?
Am I right, boys? I want to post a GIF on the screen, but I'm doing all the post-production, you know, all this stuff myself right now.
There's already places that allow it in terms of you can give Bitcoin, like Coinbase. You can take out a loan using Bitcoin as collateral.
Notice that. I was like, get out of here. Why?
Guess what that is? Guess what that is? Now, yes, they pay taxes whenever they, you know, get the collateral and they have to sell it to USD because, you know, your loan defaulted. But here's the thing. They pay a lot lower taxes than you do because they're a corporation. Not just that, but they only let you loan 90%, I believe, with really trusted accounts, 90% of what your Bitcoin is in terms of collateral in US dollar, meaning you don't pay taxes, right? So let's say it becomes very, very beneficial. If you only have 20 grand, right, and you got to pay 10% because, you know, you're going to lose 10% because of the collateral default, right? Then it's not worth it. But if you have $2 million and it's between paying 51% in some cases and 10%, you're going to go with 10%.
The path of least resistance just comes up right there.
Yeah, I mean,
in my mind,
as soon as paychecks start being given in crypto,
within legal bounds, you know what I mean? Man, I remember when Coinbase was just starting out. I was still working at the family business on the other side of the Bay Bridge, right? And they were hiring. And part of me, I never liked working for other people. Don't get me wrong. I had my fair share of jobs as a network engineer, as a junior network engineer, where I learned a lot from these senior techs and these brilliant people with PhDs. And here they are working on computers. I'm like, fucking mind-boggling. But Coinbase was already at that time offering payout in BTC for your salary. And had I just like, you know, man, let me do a little part-time. But, you know, for me, I had my rigs going 24/7. So
see, the thing
that's why I was aware
yet is independent contractors to, you know, they don't allow portals for independent contract. Wait a second. I should totally be freaking invoicing the companies that I work for through coin payments.
Damn, I'm going to start doing that too for my
I should be sending invoices through that.
I'm going to be doing that too.
It's just like light bulb for me because I've been getting paid through PayPal, you know, with the companies I've been working with and invoicing. I could just get paid in crypto. Hold on.
I love it.
I'm gonna stop speaking about tax evasion.
Right?
Oh,
that's not what it is.
It's
right?
not what it is.
It's
It's not legally defined as that because it's totally legal. Until it's not.
Right? Because
but anyways,
when you make that taxable event, you pay your dues. Like at the end of the day, we follow those rules. Squirrel.
I found myself a loophole, man. I'm like, oh wow,
Squirrel.
I'm over here. No, it just tells you how oblivious sometimes I am. I'm like over here talking about like answering questions and stuff, and then I'm like over here. I would have probably had the exact same question, but I'm over here just talking, and I just answered a question that I didn't even ask, but I answered it for somebody else, and then I was like, wait a second, I didn't even know that. Where the hell did that come from? Like,
that's how your brain works, right? You pick things apart and you verbally explain yourself and your thoughts, and then bam, it's like, oh,
it's like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
How do I know this?
I love it. I love it. That's gold. Those are golden nuggets here on BitmonkeyTV. I fucking love it. Dude, and I got to say, man, I'm honored and grateful to have you kind of this be your first show. And I hope it's the first of many. You know what I mean? I hope we run this back. Yeah. I don't know. Do you have a backstop at all tonight? Or do you want to keep it rolling? Or how are you feeling?
I should be having another meeting, I believe, with I'm not sure if you have heard of them or not. NFT Education.
Yes, I have. I love it. That's fantastic.
And I can postpone. I'd give it 15 to 30 minutes.
Oh, it's all good. I was just more trying to kind of gauge the time because, man, I can't believe it's already been 1 hour and 27 minutes. Like, shout out to everybody here in the audience and you as well. Like, that's how it goes when the conversation flows. I'm gonna send even mean to rhyme right there.
I'm gonna send a message. I just sent a message to him real quick, and it said he was active 2 hours ago. So let's see if he even remembers about the scheduled meet.
Yeah, the only thing on my list, I don't know if you've ever watched any. I'm not offended if you haven't, no worries. But at the end of all of my interviews, shout out to Austin over at One Blue Land, which I should kind of give some daps to him. He also started this comic book for increasing the financial aptitude of everybody in the world. That's my perspective of the project. And he did it before the NFT space.
Sorry to cut you off. I'm not sure if it's on my end or if it's also through anything. Oh no, it's also on Twitch. You're having a little bit of like a video lag. Like your audio's not lagging, but your video is like jumping and like skipping around a little bit.
I've noticed that, and I wonder what it is. I wonder if it's
there it is again. That's weird.
That's annoying.
Can you? I know this is gonna sound really stupid, but can you like tug on the cable that's connected to your computer with the mic?
Like, are you talking about the NIC or the
with the camera? Sorry, yeah, the camera. See if it.
Nah.
Or maybe it's in a different frame rate. What do you have a software for your camera?
This is a Sony, so I use the ZV or the image something webcam.
Can you check what can you like touch the camera and see if it's hot?
That's a good question.
Like hot to the touch? Like around the battery area where the battery is?
Yeah, that's where I'm checking. I mean, you kind of feel a little warmth, but not hot to touch anywhere.
Okay, because I was gonna say like I wonder what frame rate it's trying to record at, because it's like it feels like it like you know how a computer with like a CPU it'll thermal throttle, and so it'll slow its processing speed. Cameras do that too, just with frame rate. So it'll start taking lower and lower amounts of frames a second if it's thermal throttling.
Interesting. Yeah, it's not the camera. Laptop's good. That's weird. I know sometimes this happens depending on the day. I will admit I don't have the fastest internet here because of where I'm at, because of the infrastructure that's in place. But it
just started. Like pull up your camera on like something local, right? So that only it's not like on the through the internet, and see if it still has the same stutter. Does it?
I gotta open up. I'm gonna open up Discord real quick and just hop on stage, see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Wonder.
Tech support with Tim D.
All right. I always chalk it up to like, you know what? It's probably not going to pull it. It never lets me pull it from 2 applications at once. So
I wonder if that is actually it. If 2 applications are trying to take it at the exact same time. Okay, so on your side, is it? Let's see. So was it lagging on your side when you were doing it?
yeah, it's lagging on my side.
Okay, so it is something that you can probably unplug and replug your camera in for.
I think so. I will admit I'm running this little 3-inch extension from the USB B micro B to the USB C.
Yeah, that's your issue.
Yeah.
So, how much was it?
Oh, this one, I've only been using it 2 weeks, but it was like a pack of 2 for $10. Really cheap.
That's and it's a, you said it's a USB?
Gotta be it. Yeah. Well, see, it's weird. These new cameras, 4K, they come with a micro B rather than USB-C. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can swap it out real quick, but I forget where I have a stack of them. So I have one from my DJI Mavic 2 Pro, DJI. It came with a little adapter that never failed.
Yeah, I guarantee you that little adapter that you bought isn't rated for 4K video streams. So it's slowing it down. And I bet you if you put your camera to 1080p right now, it's all going to be fine. Because 4K requires like, I shit you not, like gold-plated connectors and or a USB-C lightning bolt port.
So it's actually running at 480p. Let me move it up to 720p.
480?
Yeah. That's weird. I'm going to swap out that cable for sure and test it. But I do have that high graded one that came with that, that Mavic 2 Pro. And It was cool. The reason I stopped using it is because it stuck out rather than hung off like a little extension cable. So I didn't want to accidentally do something stupid and break the port, leave it plugged in.
You said it's like a USB, micro USB to USB-C?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
It's a unique adapter.
Yeah, no, because I have even the microphone that I'm using right now, that's a USB-C connector.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my microphone, the mixer, USB-C all day. And it's C to C, right?
Yeah.
But this camera is a ZV-1 and it has the HDMI out option, but then it has the micro B, which works with the webcam utility. And up until it just
HDMI
started,
should also work with webcam utility.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna swap over to that cable. Stop using this one.
And I'm pretty sure that the one that you're talking about, it should come with 2 HDMI cables. One you'll see it visibly that it will be silver, and the other one's gold plated. Mm-hmm. You want to use the gold plated connector.
So this camera came with no cables. It's fucking whack. I think I must have ordered a wholesale. Just it was the ZV-1. It was in a wholesale looking box, more like OEM box style, and it had one little thin USB-C or USB micro B cable in there to the USB-A, and I was like, the fuck? So I just used my my little stash of cabling here. I was really upset, but it was one of those moments where I needed a new camera. I needed to go live. I needed to get it working. So I just got it working as is.
Is that little connector, are you able to access it easily?
Yeah, sure.
If this messes stuff up, don't do it. But if it's really easy to plug back in, unconnect the connector and
I just did that when I disconnected.
You okay.
I tried to reseat it. It's usually my first thing, right? Reseat all the cabling. I reseated the NIC. I reseated that on both ends too. It's weird. I wonder if it's just my system. Windows does want to do some
It's just
updates
the
here.
weirdest thing. It's just like I know I'm like putting so much attention to it, but it's just the weirdest thing because like your audio
I
is
don't mind.
totally fine.
That's
And-
what this show's all about, man. We squirrel all over the place. Fuck yeah. No, I'm gonna get that fixed. I love it. Thank you for all the steps. We're like-minded. Like I go through and troubleshoot it myself too.
And it's funny because as soon as I start doing something, I can't freaking drop it. It's like I gotta get it like fixed and like working before I'm able to move on, like without having my brain keep scrolling over to it, like because then you start getting like this like look at it. Now you're noticing it. Notice it more. You haven't fixed it yet.
And like those nights, I'm sure you've had a lot of these too. It'll be 10 p.m., 8 p.m., 10 p.m., somewhere like that. Something pops up in my mind, and you do not stop at nothing. You even try to go to bed, can't go to bed. You got to solve the problem. You have to figure out whatever rabbit hole you were just going down.
That is when I take an extra strong melatonin tablet.
I use a combination of I forget what it's called now. I take very little supplements, but when I do, like for sleep, I don't know about you, but for melatonin for me, take it, I go to bed, but I wake up sweating. Like after 2 hours, it does something because I started taking it too much. I started relying on it too much. So it started having the opposite effect. So an old friend and old neighbor of mine, Dr. Andrew Huberman, he has his own, YouTube channel. And I was watching it. He recommended a combination of 3 different supplements. And I shit you not, I take 2 little capsules of each. Within 30 minutes, I am like, woo, it's like NyQuil, but healthy. I don't know if you ever used to do the NyQuil challenge.
I apologize, but my mom's calling me.
Oh, it's all good.
Gotta take this really quick.
Do it. I'll entertain everybody here. What's cracking? Thanks for tuning in. I love the flow of this one. Thanks for sticking around and dealing with this, what you're experiencing right here. I'm glad I didn't go the whole way through. I'll have this fixed for tomorrow, I promise. But I've loved the episode. So I think he's getting ready for another meeting, and we're going to close it out here pretty soon with 7 closing questions. You know how we do around here. Speed round.
All right. I'm back.
Yo.
Yeah, there
awesome.
We go. How many different platforms are you currently streaming this onto?
3. So we do YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
It might
just started doing that. I think so. I do have a studio book. It's a beast of a workstation of a laptop if you look into those. But I will admit, like, it can't run everything as much as I'd love it to. So I do have a dedicated tab. I do have one. I've just been lazy on transitioning. I got, just as you do, I just have a whole bunch of tech over here, like behind the camera. I just haven't like taken the time to set up the dedicated stream station. You know what I mean? Dude, but this is motivation to do that.
The thing is, though, is that as I used to have a laptop, and I mean, it's a pretty decent laptop. It's still over here. I just use it as a paperweight now. But Dell G7 Gaming.
I love it. Paperweight. Right? Yep.
And I used to stream on this. I used to do everything on this. And I had to like I connected it to my monitor externally, right through an HDMI cable, and it did everything. And as soon as I switched to my desktop PC, this thing, I haven't charged it in like a year. I haven't used it in like a year. It's been a paperweight that literally I just put it on my desktop PC when it's not on. And then when it's on, I just take it off and put it somewhere else. And yeah, even though I totally should be using it as like a secondary like workstation, to be like either watching a movie here and then doing something here or like, whatever. But like, I just haven't done it. It's like, it's just one of those things where it's just there and it's like, maybe one day.
Maybe one day. Hey man, I was the same way early on. Like I transitioned. Like I never really liked laptops when I was younger. I was always a gamer. So always, and plus it was like the LED look, right?
You hear music?
Yeah, I have some pretzel rocks on, very, very low in the background.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't even notice that.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that's cool. I like that. But I used to love desktops, and I transitioned to laptops first and foremost because of the convenience.
But the raw power.
I know you trade off, but that's why I went and spent this fucking thing was not cheap, man. I don't normally share stuff like this. $4,000 for a laptop. I have never in my life thought I would pay $4,000
Okay,
for a
I'm
laptop.
sorry, but you got scammed.
No, if you saw the specs
What
on
type of
this thing, you'd be
GPU?
like,
What type of GPU?
what? It's a Quadro RTX 5000.
So last gen? Is that a last gen Quadro?
It's about. I'd have to double check all the specs, but the GPU is half the price. That's why. Let me double check. What model is this?
But that GPU, even if it's a Quadro, you're only going to get about 50% efficiency off of it, as you would on a desktop. Like I've got an RTX 3070.
I don't even use it to its full potential. I'm going to be honest. I bought it because I was on the transition of quitting IT. So I was like, and I've always loved Asus brands. So I ended up spending, more than I would. And I will admit I got it cheaper, but its price tag was $4,000, right? So I say that to let you know the model, but I didn't pay that.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, those types of laptops, you're not going to be able to use it unplugged anyways, at least not for very long. Like, I know this computer, which this only has a 1660 in it, right? The laptop. Mm-hmm. But back then that was like top of the line, and that thing can only run a battery for 2 hours. And that's with like the GPU clocked down 25% of its power. And so like I spent $3,000 on my desktop PC, and like that thing is just like purely like, because for work, right, I can't have any type of lag. I can't have any type of lag on anything I'm doing here. But RTX 3070 with Core i9-9900K, and then that thing can run like 4, 5, 6, 10 streams on its own while running a game, and it'd be totally fine. The only thing is that I don't need a heater in the winter as well, so it's added benefit.
Yep, I already know. You don't.
I don't know why you're laughing. That was a joke. I'm dead serious. I don't need a heater.
Trust me, I know. I could only imagine if you put 4 of those next to each other and built your own little rig in there in the corner of your room.
Yeah, that's called
probably heat up the whole house. You could probably heat up your whole house if you vent that duct properly.
Here's my professional advice: everybody during the winter, do not honestly sell your heating system. Buy a couple Bitcoin mining rigs or ETH mining rigs. Put them in a garage or somewhere with like that soundproofing foam, right? And then just have a tube lead out through your house, and you're good on heat, and you're making money at the same time. All right, that's economical right there.
Hey,
use the heat to your advantage.
I can't tell you how many years. So I've lived in a very old building for a long time, and early on, when those cold winter nights, guess who was not tripping? This guy. As a matter of fact, I was sweating. I had all the fucking windows open. You know what I mean? Because I was like considering buying AC units. And here it is, fucking winter outside. Like, who does that? Yeah. And it's a fun hobby to pick up, even if you don't plan on building your own big farm. Like doing one and learning how to create your own miner and watching it just generate, even though it's small. I think it's a good thing for everybody to try. Especially with the tech.
On that note, I'm not sure if you went public with any of your ideas. Guessing not.
Not yet.
Either way, we gotta have a conversation about that off air, right? Off record.
Let's do that.
Right, and then we can come out later and we can discuss it with everybody else. But yeah, no, that's something I definitely want to pursue. That's something that needs to happen. We gotta collaborate on that. Now everyone's in the chat like, oh, what are they working on?
I know, right?
We gotta figure it out.
We'll do it. Let's get some on the books ASAP. Like fucking probably when we get off this call or after your next call, I'll shoot you a DM in the Discord. Just go from there. Man, I love it. I think it's right around that time, dude. Let's wrap it up. We'll do these 7 closing questions. We do something unique here. Shout out. I know I scrolled away there, but shout out to Austin at One Blue Land. He gave me the suggestion of doing some fun closing thing for interviews. So I repeat some of them, right, for every guest, but I do fine tune some of them for each guest. So I have 7 unique questions for you. There is no right or wrong answer. right? You're going to
Okay.
hear one of two different variations. You're going to hear a question, which you can then answer and go in depth as possible. Those will be near the end. And then you'll hear one word or the other. What that means is the first one that comes to mind, pick it. If you want to give an explanation behind why you pick that versus the other, all the better. But yeah, so I'll get started here. Does that make sense? Do you have any questions?
Yeah, you're trying to psych eval me. I got you.
All right. Purpose or passion?
Passion.
Pessimism or optimism?
Optimism.
Perspective or patience?
Perspective.
Create or troubleshoot?
Honestly, troubleshoot.
That was gonna be a tough one. I was curious on that one. Cool. I'm not surprised though. I loved our little pivot into a troubleshooting to close out the episode. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it already came out, right?
Right? It wouldn't be BitmonkeyTV without some, little squirrel moments and side tracks. Number 5, go or goo?
Ooh, okay, here's the thing with that one. You're making me okay. So here's a story. The community's always called it goo, and I called it goo up until Gary specifically was like go, and I was like, okay, I'll call it a go, and then I started calling it a go, and then people got mad at me for calling it a go, so I called it a goo, and so I'm like, okay, if Gary's around, go. If he's not around, I'm just with the community, it's a goo. All right. Best of both worlds.
Right? Oh, that's too funny. Okay. So you're going to play the role of Switzerland, right? You're just going to be neutral.
Just gonna be
right? You're just going to be neutral. I love it.
Or the official term, which if you put GOO into like Latin, then it's like Gamma Omicron Omicron.
Gamma Omicron.
Yes.
All right.
That is the only right way to say it. Gamma Omicron Omicron.
Gamma Omicron. I'll probably just butchered that already. It sounded right. All right. Glass half empty or half full?
It's half full. But then again, with what I said in terms of perspective, right? Did I see it getting filled up or did I see it getting poured out?
Ooh, never had anybody challenge that one.
I mean,
you want to repeat?
Yeah, I mean, did I see it get filled up? Or did I see it get poured out? Which one? Right? Perspective.
Love it.
And it comes down like to business too, right? Are you starting in a new startup company, which is slowly growing, aka it's being filled up? Or are you trying to fix a company that was once great, now it's doing horribly, and they hired you to come in and fix it and hopefully turn it around? Now you're seeing it being poured out, so you got to fill it back up again. So now, there we go. Perspective change, right? 2 different types of work, 2 different types of ethic, and 2 different ways of thinking are used in either situation.
Fucking
trick question.
Dude, it's a great answer. Like I said, there's no right or wrong answer to any of these, right? I just love hearing. Dude, love it. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for going in depth there.
I need to get to Twitter quickly and literally freaking put it out there so that I know somebody can quote me. So I can quote myself. I got to make sure claim that real quick. Get it on an NFT.
I'll make sure to provide. I always download the streams, put it on a Google Drive. So if you want to reuse this for any reason, I know my video sucks towards the end of it, but it still works. The audio works, right? You can just zoom in on your face, clip it. You still have my voice. All right. My last favorite one. What does happiness mean to you, and how do you define it?
I define it. What it means to me and how I define it are one and the same, and that is freedom to do what I want, right? Freedom to not having any other strings attached to whatever decision that you make or need to make. Like, you're not spending or giving somebody $50 because you got to give them $50 for your loan, right? or you got to give him $50 for good karma. You're just doing it because why the hell not, right? Like, as soon as you can get to that point where you don't have to worry about anything else aside from what you are doing currently, I feel like that's like the pinnacle of happiness. But everything in between, you could be totally happy working towards that goal, and it's kind of like that radiating, radiating happy that kind of comes from it, right? Because then you're like, okay, I'm a little closer, right? I'm a little closer. I'm getting there. All right, I've made a decision today that didn't have any strings attached, that I just did on a whim, and I know damn well that I can do it.
I fucking love it, man. I love the response, dude. Thank you for going in depth, dude. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for the question.
Fuck yeah, no problem. Good, awesome. Happy to hear it, dude. Yeah, so this is that moment where I'm going to give you the floor. If you'd like to plug, if you want me to put anything on the screen, if you'd like to say any final words or final thoughts for anybody watching this live and anybody watching the recording, the floor is yours.
The only thing that I'm going to say is that at the end of the day, as long as you are doing something because you want to and not because of some systematic BS or honestly, just some systematic bullshit that someone is feeding you or has been feeding you since birth, right? Or as long as it's something that you're doing that isn't, related to, oh, if I do this, then this other person will be happy and then I'll be happy. That's not happiness. That's fucking, that's delusion at that point. Literally just, it actually works by sitting down and telling yourself, I'm going to be A-O-fucking-K. Like, that shit works. Like, everybody, and even me too. I used to be like that
shit
too.
Works.
I used to be like that too. That's, oh yeah, I'm going to be okay, even though I got, $500,000 in debt and the loan sharks come in to beat my freaking knees out. But, I'm going to be A-okay, so I'm going to be totally fine, right? Yes. Yes, you will be, because at one freaking, it's your knees, not your head, right? You could fix that. As long as you can fix it, then you're totally going to be okay, right? Like, even if you think you can't fix it, you can fucking fix it.
You got to be willing to ask yourself that question
of the time. Right? Because I 100%, I'm going to guarantee that if I put this out anywhere, right? Like, if you send me the Google Drive and I put that little thing I just put out there anywhere, someone's gonna be like, okay, yeah, but what if I have a terminal illness that everybody's telling me that I 100% am not gonna get out of? Okay, 99% of the time. But even then, you probably want to fight up until the last day, because at least then you could say that you did everything that you could to try and fix it.
I love it. I love those closing thoughts, man. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you for having me on.
Dude, yeah, anytime. We'll run it back. We can pick NFT Fridays. We have a lot of different theme of the days, but I'm sure we'll jam more one-on-one. I'm getting excited to talk about that.
100%.
For everybody watching, you're just going to have to be patient pandas and wait until the announcement down the road, because it is something special. All right, man. Well, thanks again for coming on the show. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Everybody tuning in, thank you so much for watching. Everybody watching the recording. This has been another episode of BitmonkeyTV, Whimsical Wing It Wednesdays, with Tim, aka Timofey. I'm about to butcher your last name. Debkov. You can find him Timofey_Debkov across both platforms, Twitter and Instagram, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And man, looking forward to having you back on the show.
Thank you very much, very much for having me on. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And yeah, this has been fun.
Yeah,
definitely do it again.
Fuck yeah, looking forward to it. All right, everybody. Catch you tomorrow. Peace.